And straight ahead after the break, I'll be sitting down with Jason Ashford to discuss domestic violence in Houston County. Stay tuned. News Central will return in just a few moments. Welcome back to News Central on Fox 24. I'm Adam Hammond, and in today's Fox Focus segment, Houston County Chief Assistant District Attorney and candidate for State Court Judge Jason Ashford is joining us to speak about recent domestic violence acts in Houston County and what kind of problem that is. And Jason, first, if you could just tell me a little bit about the background here. What's going on in Houston County, or has gone on, as far as domestic violence?
Well, of course, domestic violence is a problem in all counties, but recently Houston County has had a couple of terrible acts of domestic violence. And just recently, we sent a young man away for 10 years without parole, reference a domestic violence attack. We had a murder-suicide recently. A mother murdered her son and then killed herself. And then we recently had a husband murder his wife and attempt to commit suicide in that case as well. And whenever we have those kind of situations, at the Houston County DA's office, in conjunction with law enforcement, we try to get out on the front end of domestic violence and make sure people are aware of the resources that are out there to assist people in dealing with domestic violence.
And these domestic violence acts were fatal, but that's not necessarily always the case. What is domestic violence?
And domestic violence is defined under Georgia laws as crimes involving spouses, co-parents of children. Interestingly enough, though, it does not cover boyfriend and girlfriend. Even though we know that domestic violence does occur between boyfriend and girlfriend, the law just is not able to define that kind of a relationship effectively. And so they have to have a child together, they have to live together, have to have some kind of familiar relationship, though.
And how prevalent is this problem in our society? You said it's far-reaching, every county, every city. So how big a problem is it?
Well, the Department of Justice says that almost 25% of women are going to suffer some type of domestic violence sometime in their lifetime. Over 835,000 men every year are victims of domestic violence, and 1.4 million women every year. So it's a very big problem.
And what options are available to people who maybe think they might be a victim of domestic violence, just aren't sure?
Well, we want people to be involved. We want people to be involved in their communities. We want people to know that there are resources out there. And so one of those things is to report. Call 911 if you see instances that you think a child or a spouse or anybody is being abused by a family member. But we also encourage people to get involved and call HODAC. There are lots of resources there, and the National Domestic Violence Hotline is also a big option for people as well. They can also call the DA's office, 218-4810, or visit houstonda.org, and there's lots of options out there. In the past 10 years, with my experience in the DA's office, we've dealt with a lot of domestic violence cases, and the Special Victims Unit has really been involved in trying to be not only in the back end, where we're putting people in prison, but also on the front end, where we're trying to prevent crime in the first place.
And HODAC is certainly an asset in Houston County.
Absolutely.
As far as preventing domestic violence. Tell us just a little bit about HODAC, what it is, and I think we have their number we can also show people at home.
Great, and HODAC is a fantastic resource for people. It helps get domestic violence victims the help that they need by being able to shuttle them towards things like the safe house, getting them out of that situation and getting counseling and those kinds of things. They're a great resource in our office because they assist not just domestic violence victims, but all victims of crime. And the state and the district attorney's office in particular is mostly focused on victims of crime. That is our focus, and that's why we're trying to prevent the crime and also deal with the crime after it happens.
All right, well, Jason, thank you so much for coming on.
Sure.
We appreciate it, and we look forward to you coming back. And coming up when News Central at 5:30 continues, we'll take you to a spot that proves to be one of Central Georgia's most popular Labor Day destinations. Stay right there. News Central on Fox 24. We'll be right back.